Boom. Hey guys, how are you? This is Lisa, Paper Lace and Bling, and I have gone ahead and put my cover on, done all my inking, and just cut it and glue it. It's not that hard. And I covered the entire piece. I didn't leave a little edge other than about 1/4 of an inch on the side. It has the book binding, and then the back. So I think it turned out very nicely. I am very happy with it. It is still a little limper than I'd like it to be for as much this isn't going to get a terrible amount of usage because I don't give that many parties or do that much entertaining, but I still have some great recipes, and I'd like to keep them all in one place. Okay, so we still needed to do the backs of these, and I wanted to bring you along for the ride. And let's see. This is number 1. I've gone ahead and I've inked them, cut them, and folded them. I also wanted to remind you that when you're putting your envelopes together, to make sure that the bottom is on the outside of the side slots. That way when something, here this might work, when something is sliding down, you're going to be not hooking on this piece. If you put it like this, with this piece on the inside, when you're sliding, you're going to stop on that and not always be able to have it nice and smooth. This way, once you get it inside the side flaps, you're not going to really have a problem with your bottom flap, okay? So just a little reminder to make sure that the bottom flap is always on the outside. Come on. Oh, for heaven's sakes. Okay, just a little bit of glue on there. Get that started. Okay, so we're going to go ahead, so you know where these are going. We're going to go ahead and fiddle with these a little bit. And I've noticed that I've used 2 different colors. Not that it really makes a difference, but these are both the same width. And so we're going to go ahead and make our little pocket on the side here, and these 2 slots should work fine for me. Okay, so we have our first one. Let's go ahead and put this down. I'm trying to use up the glue in here. And with this type of envelope, you do want to make sure that you glue down this back piece all the way up to the top. Okay, and I'm going to leave just a little edge on the outside piece and across the bottom. There we go. All right. Can it come up a little bit higher? Yes, it can. There we go. Okay, let's also make sure that we are not gluing anything down. And remember, by pinching the 2 front pieces in just a smidge will give you an automatic opening in your paper. If you flatten them out like that and put it down all the way, you will have a flat to flat piece, and then it's not as easy to get your stuff in there. Okay, and now we're going to put our little piece here, our little pocket, flush all the way. So flush against the envelope we just put. And then we're going to take a little mark and I'm going to pull it away about the same amount that I pulled it on this side. In fact, let me come over just a little bit more. And then I'm just going to line my line up. Cut off about a 1/2 inch. And we're going to lay this on here. Now, we can go ahead, because we do still have some pieces. See, I had this. Let's see. Garbage. But I had these pieces. I thought that maybe. No, see, they're going to be too thin. So, let's get some of the pretty ones here. And we're just going to mark them. So, we have it. I'm going to do one of these with you all the way through. And then I'll get the rest done myself. So, I'm going to go ahead and cut this one first. There it is. Always losing my mark. Okay. So, this will go, and I want you to see, I'm making it last me, but boy, this, I've gotten my money's worth out of this one. It is still hanging in there. And then a little of this. Okay. Little bit, where'd I put it? A little bit of glue. Okay. And then just get it on this piece. I'm going to go ahead across the bottom. Get the bottom glued. And then just line it up. And bring it on over. There we go. Okay, so now let's go ahead and put this on page 1. The back of our built-in double pocket. This thing has really come together very quickly. I am very pleased with it. And using all of my scraps up has been super, super nice. I'm going to, with these larger pieces, I'm going to utilize the recipe card size basically. And I have a stamp somewhere. I have a stamp that is a recipe card. So I've got to dig that out. I'm pretty sure I have that. Either that or I bought it from my friend Laurel and sent it to her. I don't remember. Because she does a lot of these for her boys. Both of her boys love to cook. So she does these recipe books for them, which I thought was really sweet. See, now here I'm going to be able to do smaller pieces in here, and this will be able to take the recipe cards. I believe either way you want to put them in. Yeah, and then you can just pull them out. So that's great. That way it will all be under whatever. So I'm going to go ahead and finish the backs of these two other ones, and then I will bring you back and we'll work on the inside front and back covers. And you guys didn't miss anything on the cover. I just inked it and glued it down. Because remember, this is going to go in with all my other cookbooks. So I don't want anything, you know, on the fronts, on the sides of it. I just want to be able to stick it in with my other cookbooks. Okay, back in a while. Hey everybody, this is Lisa, Paper, Lace, and Bling. So we are just doing the inside front and back covers now is all we've got left. And I want to have extra spots to put recipe cards in. And I want one for each section, or I want additional sections. I'm not sure yet, but this will give me, because I was thinking, you know, I have different punch recipes, I have different mulled spice stuff, you know, things like that. So I thought definitely need 3 more, and I think I will do a tab on each one of them as well, but I still want a big pocket. So let's see what we can come up with. So that is the direction we're going in anyway. And this is my base. All right. Doesn't want to stand up for me. Listen here. Okay. And this is, you know, pretty much the size that I'm going to want for my pocket is for this to fit in. So I'm giving it about 1/4 of an inch here and 1/4 of an inch here. So let's say I want... Let's see what this is. I want about a 6-inch. And so I'm going to go ahead and cut long ways. About 6 inches. Okay. So this should make, let's see, where is my, oh, right here. Right where it was supposed to be. Yay! Don't we love that? Okay, gonna put a 1/2 inch here. On this side. And let's lay it down so it's going to be nice and straight. All right, take a pencil and mark it where we want to have it scored. So we've got 3/8 of an inch on this side. All right, so that is our big pocket. Now I think I need to do something to make that a little easier to get into, but yet I need to make sure that I can have my 3 pockets. And when you look at the back here, I have quite a bit of room. I've got that whole 1/2 inch because this I'm leaving blank so I have pretty in my book. Because, you know, why not have some pretty in there? Or I can put a picture of one of my favorite Christmas table setups or Thanksgiving table setups or something like that, you know, or a party setup, so that I can remind myself what I have done. So, you know, that kind of thing is important too. So, we have our cards. I want the tabs to come here. I can make, and actually that way I'll get 4 sides. I think I'm going to make 2 mini file folders with pockets. How's that sound? And let's see, is one side of this, well, let's see, this is 3 3/4, so this is 4 1/4, and then I would just add a tab from a scrap piece, which, you know, I have this as well as a couple of other pieces, so I definitely would have scrap pieces. So let's see if we cut this at 4 1/4 and then at 5 1/2, that should give us our nice, because this is, okay, see, this is 5 1/2. And then you add the pockets, and it's going to take like 1/4 inch up, and then the cards are going to stick out the top. So I won't be able to do it with just one. Let me get another one out, and we'll do, oh, that's totally different color. I think I've been mixing colors here, just grabbing stuff willy-nilly. And so I'm trying to be a little more, let's see here. Oh, for heaven's sakes. Oh, and then I dropped a whole big old thing. Let's see, are you open? No, you are too thick. And, all right. Let's see. I don't want to open another one. I've got so many opened already. So, it sounds like my son is here. Well, I'm just going to use a different color. I'm not going to open up a whole pack. I actually don't like doing that, but that's what I've got. Let's see. Now, this is the same color, so maybe I can do 2 this way. Okay. At least they'll be the same. So this, if I cut this down to 6, let me remind myself. Okay, this is 6 inches. So this needs to be 5 1/2. Yeah, I can't make it 5 1/2. This needs to be 5 3/4. And then I'll have that little bit. Huh. Five 3/4 by 4. Okay, so let me do this. Let me put a score mark at 4 inches. Find my scoring tool. Okay, 4 inches. And I'm going to fold that. That's not very straight. Okay. And I'm going to cut this at, if you need to open it up, if your cutter won't do to two thicknesses, but I'm going to cut this at 5 3/4. And that's right where my ruler kind of gets messed up on my cutter. So let me make sure I'm doing 5 3/4. Yes. There we go. Okay. Then I'm going to cut my tab. Let's see. Probably would have been easier to cut my tab and then do my fold. Duh. Okay, so when I do my tabs, how much... Okay, I'm all over the place here, guys. Sometimes this is the way it works out. The tabs are 3/4 of an inch. Yeah, about 3/4 of an inch, because that paper is right there. So 3/4 of an inch. So let's go 3/4 of an inch up from here. So how am I going to do that? Let's see. That's right. Okay, that is, whoopsie, get that open. That is about 3/4 of an inch. And let me just make sure this is going to work properly. Remember how to do this. Going to do one side. And then I flip it. And I want these tags to be the same length. So that is 3 1/4. So let's see. I know there's an easier way of doing this, but I'm not remembering it right now, so I'm going to make this 3. It's close enough. Okay, so there's that. And then we're going to cut off the rest. Okay, so there we go. This is a fun little tool to have, guys, but you don't need to have it at all. You do not need to have it at all. Let's see. I think this goes, oops. There we go. Okay, so there's the first one, and let's see how this is going to look. So I can put one here. And I can have pocket and pocket. Let's see. Yeah, so I can slide recipe cards in. And if I'm going to be honest about the whole thing, I could actually flip it too and have pocket and one big pocket. Oh, I'm liking that idea. And if I put, because if I put this, here's this piece, I put this here, I have just a little bit of space in between the two, and they'll lay in there nicely. And then I can do a closure. Loving it. Loving it. Just when I thought I was going to be almost done with this. Okay, this is my base page. I'm going to set that aside for a second. I need to get another one of these. So, we are cutting our paper at 8 3/4 by 5 3/4. Okay, so $8 3/4 by 5 3/4. And let's do our tab first. And remove this and measure over 3 1/4 from the center. Okay, and cut. All right, that one wasn't done very well. I should not have re-sliced, but anyway. All right, guys. So there's the 2 labels. Now again, if you don't have that, get a file folder. Get something with just a pretty edge. You know, you don't have to do this. Now, I want one up and one down. And is that going to fit on there? No, these need to... 3 1/4 was just too much. But, you know, that's okay that it overlaps like that. And it's going to be further back. Let me make this. Let's see. Do I want to fold it this way or do I want... Yes, I do want to fold it this way. And my 4. Nope, gotta fold it this way. Okay, so there's that. Do I like that? Huh. And then make another one. I got 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. Then I would have 2 pockets there, and a pocket here, 2 pockets here, pocket here, and so on and so forth. And make it as even across, getting 4 on there. I don't want to do more than that. But I get 4 on there and leave myself room for some kind of closure, possibly even, well, I'd say magnet, but I don't, this might get really thick, so I think a string tab. Okay, guys, so I am going to make myself 2 more of these, and we'll see if that'll work for us. So I'll be back in a minute. This is Lisa, back with Paper, Lace, and Bling. Let's go over what we're going to need to finish this inside back file folder area. Okay, so I have 4 file folders, and finished they're 5 3/4 by 4 3/4, okay? So, and I did decide that I was going to go top, bottom with my tabs. So I have, I think that looks the nicest. I've tried both ways, where it was all top, all bottom, or mix and match, and I decided. I had 3 pockets left. Now, the backs of these will fit perfectly. I'm not going to go and print another sheet of pockets. I printed the entire kit once, and I'm seeing what I can do. So these 3 pockets will probably go onto the first 3 of the file folders, and then the last file folder will just be something different. So I have those 3 ready. I have 4 of these. I have 4, now some of these weren't an inch, but basically an inch by 5 3/4, the same height as the file folders. So I have 4 of those, so I can actually put the file folders onto the pocket. And then I have my base for the big pocket. Okay, so there's 1 of 2 ways that you can do this. There's probably it's a little neater way, but I'm really pushing it to do that, so I'm not going to, because I don't have enough difference. But you could make slit pockets, and then 1/2 of this would be on the file folder and the other half would slide in. But there is about 1/4 of an inch difference, period. Not even, just hardly 1/4 of an inch difference. And it will just rip. So if you were making a larger pocket, you could totally do that, and it would make it much more streamlined, much more pretty. And you would actually see more of the picture as you flip the file folders. But since I don't have the room for that because of the choice of my size, if you want your size to be larger, you go for it. So I am just going to glue down 1/2 of this set to the pocket. And then I will cut, see, where did I put that? Is this the piece? I have this piece, which is as long as this piece is. And so I will cut that out and put on the strip. So it will blend somewhat. And as I cut these for the size that I need, then I will ink them up so they'll be inked as well. I may just ink them on the top and the bottom so that it will blend a little bit better. So we'll see how that ends up being. To get the most aesthetically pleasing. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this down since I'm not going to do the slit pocket deal with this one. Ooh, I had a lot of glue coming out. Squished it a little too hard. Don't have to squish these bottles much at all, if at all, really. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and smooth some of those big chunks of glue out. Okay, and then we're going to lay this down onto our large pocket. And there we go. So let's get this down nice and firmly. Alrighty. And you guys can make these, you know, if you're not making a recipe book, if you're just going to do this, this would be a lovely photo album. Lovely photo album. You'd have lots and lots of choices for photos and such as that. So, you know, you can totally add laces and all that kind of good stuff. So, you know, don't be limited by what I do. So now on these first sections, these first 3 envelopes, I am going to put the pocket in the back. So let's go ahead and snip. Let's close them. And don't cut off any of this end. So you want to start the scissors at the end and just cut a little bit of the excess off. But you do not want to cut any of the score side off at all. You want that to fit from one side of the envelope to the other. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and glue this down onto my file folder. I said envelope, but I mean file folder. I love these little mini file folders. Very, very cute. And I'm not done with them, but okay, so I'm just making sure I'm getting that down to the bottom of my file folder. Get it well on there. And then I'm going to go ahead and put down, make it, so I'm going to go ahead and put these down. On the back side of the file folder. But don't get into the score marks. You know, don't get into those score lines. You've got plenty of room to move it up onto the file folder because you want that to lay down nice and flat. And let's take a piece and just make sure we're not gluing our pocket closed. Okay, so there's one, and we can go ahead and lay that right on our book. So let's go ahead and do that, and we'll just get these done as we go along. So I'm going to start it right over here at the end with about the same amount on the top as on the bottom, hopefully. Let's burnish, open up, and burnish. Okay. So there's the first one. Let's go ahead and do the second one. Now this one's a little longer, but it's still going to be done the same way. I could take this and cut it on one side so it's a 1/2 inch, and I think I will go ahead and do that. Let's see. We're going to put that score mark right along my silver edge here, and I think that's a 1/2 inch. There we go. So there's one score mark on the silver. Okay, so those sides will go onto my base. Something's fallen here. Oh man, I took a break because my son came over and he played with Hooch for a while, our very energetic 2-year-old dog. Whoops, I did forget. Let's go ahead and this just helps with the bulk at the edges so you don't see all the inner workings. Like it just be. Okay, get it right to the edge. Line it up. There we go. And I think I'm going to make sure I use this other long one on the next one because these are perfect for covering that up. And I did already glue my flaps down when I did all my coloring, all my inking on the edges. Okay. Stay away from the edge. Make sure it's going to lay down nice and flat and that it is even on both sides. There we go. Score. Burnish, I mean. Let's make sure we're not gluing. Okay. Let's go ahead and add. Now, I'm going to have a pocket every 1.5 inches. So, I've lined up on my grid, and I'm going to go over 1.5 inches, and I'm going to lay my folder down. Just come up a little bit. Let's lay, make sure we're even, and we are, and burnish. Flip her over and burnish. There we go. So now we have 2 of our envelopes in. Okay, so let's get a 3rd one. And again, I'm going to use this one that's longer because that's perfect. Ah, wait a minute. Ah, so after my son left, I said, well, if I don't take my dog for a walk, which I hadn't done all day today, he won't get one because it is getting dark so fast. So fast. And we had snow last night. We had, it didn't stick. Well, it stuck a little bit. I think I was up around 8 with the dog, but I went back to sleep. My husband and I kind of had a late night last night. So yeah, I went back to sleep, but it was on the ground, but it was just a dusting, but it was, you know, still beautiful to see. Beautiful. And so we've been getting some snow. My daughter and grandson, he is dying to see snow. They live in Florida, you know. So they're coming the week after Christmas. So we're hoping, everybody say your prayers, that it is going to snow, like snow for him. We're going to have the hill all ready for him to fly down on a sled and all that good stuff. We just need the snow. So everybody say a prayer, please, that Connor will have snow when he is here with us. Yeah, so that was exciting, although it was just going to be my son and my husband and I. And so we were just going to have a really laid back, which we're still going to have a laid back Christmas, but I got to decorate the house Christmassy. So, you know. Okay, another 1.5 inches, and I just had a landslide of stuff because and let's make sure, if you guys don't mind. Okay, this one is actually a tiny bit shorter. So, but it is still, it's a tiny bit shorter, but it is, let me see, here and here. There we go. Yeah, it was a little bit crooked, and now it's not. Okay. All right, so we got that. Oh, for heaven's sakes. I'm working on a couple different things, and I still have bird watcher stuff to finish up. But I just have so many other things. The bird watcher might get finished after the first of the year because I have so many little Christmas things that I want to get done. that, you know, yeah. So that's probably going to come first. So those of you that have been working on the Birdwatcher one, I'm sorry. If you have questions, if you're working on it and you're going to give it as a Christmas gift or something, just message me. Leave me a comment, something. And if you have a question or a concern about something specific that you want to ask about, I will be more than happy. Ooh, let's put this on the back end. I will be more than happy to help you out. All right, I'm going to get this right on the end. Burnish. Okay, and then I'll figure out what I'm going to put on the back of this one pretty soon. So now I'm going to line this up again. And I'm going to go 1.5 inches. And I'm going to lay that right on there. Yeah. Okay, so let's just get our glue. And our 1.5 inches right here and right here. It just is so wonderful to have a grid that you can work with. Let's make sure that we're nice and straight. And we are. And give it a little burnish. Double check. Yes, that's very nice. Very nice right there. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Very good. Now here we can do something as well. You can put a little pocket. I love the butterfly area. And as a matter of fact, I think I'm just going to leave it because I love having those little moments. And look at exactly what everything that's left there. It's just beautiful. That's beautiful. So we'll just leave that. This will probably be leftover pieces. Okay. Little pocket in here will probably be leftover pieces, and it'll probably be a tuck spot versus anything with bulk, like flipping over the flaps to glue it down. I will probably just glue here and here, and then they'll slide in, and it'll just be one strip of paper. And these are not going to get decorated. This outside piece will, but more than likely what the outside piece is going to get is going to be, whoopsie, let's see what we've got. I've got my recipe cards. Those are all going to, I might end up doing a few of those, printing out a few more of those. I have 3 sheets left of the, I believe these are just the journal pages. I don't know. This one might be one of the bonus sheets. And that's probably a bonus sheet. I don't know. I don't remember that particularly. So now we have these pieces, and I don't really have any place to utilize those. So those probably won't get used for this. And these, I think I'm going to make some cards. So these are going to go on the cards. These might end up with portions of these on the cards as well, and then again all of the words. So that's going to be another project to make some cards. But these would look adorable on here. I think they would work. Yeah, because there's that much underneath. So I think it would work for sure. And then I would just pick 4 of them. So I'd have 1 on each page. Yeah. I think that would be, you know, that would be something. And if I were to just glue down the bottom, I could probably use it as a tuck. But I'm going to have 2 pockets on the insides. I think that's probably enough. And then I've got the pocket on the back of these 3. I don't want to get this so full. So, yeah, we might just put one of these down on each one of them and leave that. And then have 2 tuck spot areas inside. I think that sounds very good. So I will cut these out later. But now we're going to take, because we do have our pocket, onto our base page. So we have that. Let's go ahead and get our little stubs down. Put some glue down. Now this, you know what? This is pretty heavy. I think I'm going to do a little bit of both. I kind of like to put this down the center. Because this is pretty darn heavy. And I'm going to put glue right on the, this right down on the edge, because that's going to help it. This is the, yeah, this is the bottom. I wanted to make sure I was doing that correctly. Okay, so this is the bottom. And then I'm going to put a piece of glue, a strip of glue right alongside that. So I won't be making myself a tension pocket because I don't want my recipes to get ripped up. Okay, so let's go ahead. Put that there. Okay, and we'll put one side down first. There we go. There we go. A little off, but I'm going to go with it because it's not that much off. All right. So now here, I'm just going to take this off. And I'm going to put a little bit of glue. Try not to put it where the tape was. I just want to make sure I'm not going to be gluing my pocket down. Just get a little piece of something. There we go. All right. So there's that. I'm going to have to make some leftover pieces, you know, get a 8.5 by 11 copy sheet and put down all of my little leftover pieces so that I can have another sheet of paper to work with, because I do have a lot of little pieces. Now some of these can just be the little tucks. So, you know, I can do that, especially if I had one that was long enough. Here's a lot more little pieces. Let's see what I've got over here. This is some copy paper I can use. And I don't think I have any more pieces. I think, oopsie. I think that's it. So, now I did have one of these, I think this piece. It's this piece or this piece that is as long as that. Yeah. So this piece I'm going to cut little like 3/8 of an inch pieces to go onto those. And then I'm just going to ink the tops and the bottoms. Okay, so let's see, where are we at here? Is this straight in the first place? So 1, 2, 3/8. That doesn't look quite large enough. Let's see. Yeah, that'll be all right. So 1, 2, 3, and then an extra one. Am I getting these even? Just about. So there's another one. And then I need 2 more. Oops, where am I? Okay. 1, 2, 3, and then this one. All right, and one more. 1, 2, 3, and here. To make it even. Well, actually, I don't think I need. We'll have to wait and see. Well, yeah, I do need one for this, but I think I can use this one here. Although I don't really want to get onto my butterfly. So let's cut this another 3/8 and a 16th. Okay. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, and there. Just make it look the same all the way across. There we go. All right. And then the rest of that is all my bits and pieces. Okay. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. So those all need to be inked. I do need to have a piece go across here. So I think I probably will come to the 3 pieces I have whole. And I think I'll just use the top here. Least interesting bit. So let me get the white off of here. Okay, so let's just go from, do this way. Whoopsie. Lost my little, I'm going to slide it underneath both of these so I can see where I want that, and then I'm going to put it about that far in, about there. So, okay, I'm going to cut the long way first. So I still have that piece. And this comes off. That goes into my extra pieces. And then this should just slide right in, which it does. So that needs to get glued in as well. But let's see how we are doing with this. So I'm going to go ahead, and this is a lot of weight. Let's go ahead and use, let's see, for time expense, I'm going to go ahead and just do it this way. I'll be gluing around the edges, and we're going to put 3 pieces of this to hold the weight. Okay, let's go ahead and burnish these. Now, I did not, before we put this down, I didn't, dadgummit, I was going to put my, well, I can start my string from around here, and I can put a round, something to hook it on, something to, because I need something to close these, don't I? Or do I? Because actually, they're in the back of the book. So when you open to it, and the opening for these is going to be towards the inside, so they're not going to fall out. So I don't think I actually need let's see, I lost my bits and pieces here. Actually, where's my whitest one? Here. Let's put this one here and the whitest one here so it doesn't detract too much. And then I still have this one. No, I don't. I lost them. Okay. Where'd you go? Whoops. That's the front. Well, well, well. Huh. That's too big. So I'm missing one. I have one here, one here, one here. Ah! Maybe? There we go. Okay. So, I'm going to do some string. Let's see, what do I have that I want to use? Do I want string? I could actually use some seam binding. Let's see if I have some. Let's see. I don't know if I have any large enough pieces. Oh, this might be large enough. And I think it's a good color. I did a bunch of tassels. Those went really good, but I'm sold out of them. Well, no, I still have summer and spring, but the Christmas and the fall ones, I think I'm totally out of. So let's get a little extra here. And here, burnish. And remember, if you have one on top of another, take the one from the bottom first. So I'm going to and then that will allow you to re-burnish and get it off. I just throw them all willy-nilly, didn't I? Okay, so let's get a flattened bit here. And I also want to there. And then a flattened bit here. Let's make sure, let's see, right across there, and I've got that coming between that one and that one. There we go. Oops. I'm gonna lose everything. Okay. That looks pretty good. So let's go ahead now. I keep dropping these. Put it off to the side. Let's go ahead now and get this prepped to put in our book. So I'm gonna do this. Alright, and then I'm going to pull this one from here. Alright, everything that fell out, open this up. Now, nothing can get on this one, so I'm going to go ahead and lay this down. Oh, wait a minute. Why can't I see these? These need to be sticking out. Jiminy crickets. Dummy. Dummy. I am making an absolute mess. Okay. There we go. And I still... There we go. Pull that out of there. Pull that out of there. Get the glue off of there. Got my two pieces. Let's do some burnishing. Move that glue around. Make sure that the okay, so this will go into here, but it needs to get, all that stuff needs to get So I have plenty to tie a nice bow. So that will be the closure for that. So other than a little decoration, the build is done. And next time, we'll do the front. And I don't think it's going to be near as involved, but I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks, guys, for joining me. I will show you the finished product on the inside back when we return. Bye for now. Bye for now. There we go.